Welcome to this custom-tailored deep dive. The mission today is unpacking the highly specific, completely invisible tech that powers commercial audio.
Right, and we are using the QSC AD-P4T-WH pendant loudspeaker as our, prime example for this.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this. When you see a $300 to $30 price tag for one of these units, you just have to ask, is this just a fancy speaker hanging on a string, or is there, fundamentally more to it?
Well, what's fascinating here is that this hardware is designed specifically to hide in plain sight. It effortlessly shapes the atmosphere in really demanding environments.
I mean, we aren't just talking about playing background music at a coffee shop, right?
Oh, no, definitely not. In high-stakes environments like a massive retail store or even a casino, the audio has to be perfectly controlled, and that requires some intense physics.
Yeah, and before we understand how it fills a room, we really have to understand how it generates sound in the first place.
You have to look at the actual mechanics driving the air.
Right, so inside this pendant, you've got a 4.5-inch weather-treated paper woofer. And that is paired with a 0.75-inch aluminum dome tweeter.
Which is a highly calibrated division of labor.
Yeah, it's like a tag team. The woofer handles all the heavy lifting, giving you that 65 hertz bass.
While the tweeter handles the really fine details, taking things all the way up to 20 kilohertz.
Oh, wow. And what about the power pushing all that?
You're looking at 30 watts of continuous RMS power, allowing it to hit a peak maximum SPL of 108 decibels.
That is seriously loud.
It is, but raw output isn't really the point here. The real engineering feat is its consistent tonal characteristics across the entire acoustic design family.
Wait, why does that consistency matter so much for large-scale setups?
Because an integrator can mix pendant, ceiling, and wall-mounted speakers across a massive floor plan. As you walk from a lobby into a corridor, the acoustic signature doesn't change.
Ah, I see. So the brain just perceives it as one continuous environment.
Exactly.
But, generating great sound doesn't matter if it doesn't actually reach the audience evenly.
That is usually the trickiest part of acoustic design.
Right. So the specs list a 150-degree conical coverage and a DMT waveguide. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Because instinctively, giving a speaker a massive 150-degree angle seems like a recipe for disaster.
It sounds totally counterintuitive, yeah.
Yeah, doesn't opening up the coverage that wide just blast the audio everywhere? Wouldn't it just get louder and potentially annoying for whoever is underneath it?
Well, that would absolutely happen with, a traditional acoustic horn.
Right, the harsh reflections.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the DMT, the directivity matched transition waveguide, it actively solves that. Think of it not as a megaphone spraying sound, but as a specially sculpted acoustic funnel.
Oh, so it actually shapes the sound waves.
Yes, it physically aligns the dispersion of the tweeter with the woofer at the crossover point. So it creates a smooth, uniform frequency response over that entire area.
So no harsh beaming. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, achieving that wider, even coverage has a huge business impact.
Oh, massive. It means a business physically requires fewer loudspeakers to eliminate dead zones in a room. You buy less hardware and spend way less on labor.
That makes total sense. But a great-sounding wide coverage speaker is useless if it breaks easily or is like a total nightmare to install.
Very true. These speakers end up suspended high up in some pretty unforgiving places.
Yeah, exposed rafters, transit hubs, outdoor patios. How do they survive all that dust and fluctuating humidity?
They're built incredibly tough.
It seems like it. You've got this UV-treated ABS enclosure, IP34 dust and water resistance, and a sealable 4-pole Euroblock connector.
It's basically an industrial weather seal protecting a precision acoustic engine.
Right. It's essentially an armored tank disguised as a sleek, white, snap-fit magnetic pendant.
And the internals definitely reflect that industrial vibe, specifically the 70 or 100-volt transformer plus a 16-ohm bypass.
Oh, interesting.
And this raises an important question. How do engineers string together dozens of these speakers across a massive transportation terminal without the signal degrading?
Or without just blowing out the amplifier entirely.
Exactly. By stepping up the voltage to 70 or 100 volts at the amp, the current drops dramatically.
So that prevents the audio signal from losing its high frequencies over hundreds of feet of speaker wire.
Yes, and then the transformer inside each individual pendant steps that voltage back down to something the speaker coil can actually use.
Oh, wow. That's how they can daisy-chain massive networks over huge distances.
Precisely. And to speed up the install, they include quick-link cable assemblies right in the box.
So what does this all mean? Well, it means you now understand the intense acoustic engineering required to seamlessly power those everyday background vibes.
Yeah, it really is an entire invisible infrastructure dedicated exclusively to your comfort.
Absolutely. So, a final provocative thought to leave you with. The next time you're sitting in a restaurant or walking through an airport, just look up at the ceiling. How much of your current mood is being actively shaped by a meticulously engineered, weather treated cone hanging quietly above your head?